I just want to welcome you this morning. My name is Miriam Gordon. I'm with Upstream. I want to take just a minute to introduce the sponsors and the co-sponsors for this event today. First and foremost, Upstream and the County of San Mateo Office of Sustainability are the primary co-sponsors, and my partner in crime here, Eun-Soo Lim, is from the County of San Mateo. She and I have been plotting this for a while, and together with our awesome co-sponsors who also comprise our planning committee. Our co-sponsors are the City of San Francisco, Department of the Environment, where Jack Macy has been one of our co-conspirators, and also Stop Waste, where Justin Milan has been plotting with us. He wasn't able to be here today, so we were fortunate to have Mary Soul join us from Stop Waste. And Peter Schultz-Allen from EOA Consultants has been a major contributor to the planning of this. And our NGO co-sponsors include Clean Water Action, and with Samantha Summer and her amazing team from Rethink Disposable, as well as Martin Bork from the Ecology Center in Berkeley. I hope I didn't forget anyone. So yeah, that is, these are the folks who've been planning today's agenda, and I just wanted to give you a little background. Oh, look, it's up there. I wanted to give you a little background on how this came to be. I was presenting on policy options for source reduction. No, I don't want that phone call. Policy options for source reduction at a CRRA conference panel. And Sue came up to me at the end of the panel and said, you know, I'm working on trying to develop some kind of a model policy for the County of San Mateo and the cities. And you know, a lot of the things that you discussed are things that we're considering. And you know, I attached myself to her like white on rice and said, yes, that is exactly the approach that we need: comprehensive strategies and policy solutions, and organizing counties and cities together to be more unified in how they approach these issues. So that was the genesis for this conference, or this workshop, and it's been clear to us all along that there's a great need, because many of you are grappling with both the zero waste and the stormwater requirements to reduce foodware and trash, and we're at a very pivotal time in this policy arena because of the China ban, because we're rapidly coming to understand that food packaging has never been that recyclable, and a lot of the compostable stuff isn't composting, and maybe the waste end solutions, the recycling and diversion solutions that we've been focusing on are not solving the problem. Maybe we need to go upstream, forgive me, can't help it, in the 3 R's in the waste management hierarchy, and focus more on the source reduction R's, the reduce and reuse. And we've actually intentionally set today's agenda to progress along that framework of the entry-level things that many of you have already done, that look at specific products and getting rid of the plastics, and moving along the trend towards increasingly more source reduction focused policies. And that is how the agenda is framed. Also, I've developed a handout for you all that I hope you had a chance to grab, that also shows kind of a representation of Upstream's thinking about how you can progress along this policy ladder, moving from choosing different kinds of disposable materials to reducing them at the source, and what those policies look like. So I hope that you will benefit from today's conversation. I hope you will contribute to today's conversation. And to set up a greater view into today's agenda and our goals for today, I'm going to introduce Eun-Soo. I'm pretty sure I had your bio here, Eun-Soo, but seem to have left it over there. Sorry, where is it? Excuse me. Thank you. My lovely assistant. No, I'm sorry, just kidding. So Eun-Soo joins us today with extensive experiences in sustainability, having worked as an environmental nonprofit consultant, working closely with local governments and schools around climate change, energy, and solid waste. Having worked as a greenhouse gas emissions verifier for mandatory and voluntary greenhouse gas reporting programs in California and Massachusetts, and now as sustainability coordinator with the County of San Mateo's Office of Sustainability. Since 2005, while at the county, Eun-Soo has led the development of the office's electronics reuse and recycling program, the Sustainability Academy, and electric vehicle policy and program. She is now heading the development of the county's Foodware ordinance and the 4Rs grant program. Eun-Soo holds a bachelor's degree in environmental science from Barnard College. I didn't know that, we need to talk about that. And a master's degree in climate and society from Columbia University.
Great. So what are we going to be doing for the rest of the day? So what are our goals? So one goal is to bring all the Bay Area local governments, or as many local governments as possible, in one space, a safe space that will allow for good dialogue. And that's an exchange and sharing of ideas, practices, experiences. It's also a place where we could ask some tough questions. And it's all around a topic that is gaining increasing momentum and starting to become a high priority item for many of the local governments in the Bay Area. And it's important to keep in mind that there is no easy one-size-fits-all solution for this issue. And the solution will need to be different depending on the needs and the different characteristics of each jurisdiction. And you guys know all this. So keeping that in mind, what we want to share with you all today are different options, policy options that are out there, some that have already been implemented by different local governments, and some that have not. So another goal for this workshop today is about education. So educating the right folks, you all, local government staff with health information that you could all take back to your communities, that you could use as tools to inform your decision-making process around this topic specific for your jurisdiction. And it's one of my goals to learn a lot today because by all means, I'm no expert in this topic area whatsoever. I am constantly learning, and I hope that it's one of your goals today for you to learn as well with me. So how are we going to start learning today? The overall agenda. So you should have all gotten an agenda when you signed in. So I want to run through this really quickly. So the main meat of the workshop today, we're going to be starting at 9:20 with setting the stage. So we'll, a few of us will set the stage in terms of, why is this important? And then followed by 4 main panels throughout the day. And we have between 3 to 4 speakers in each panel. And within each panel, after each panel, we're going to have group discussions. And I just want to emphasize that, many of you are speaking, many of you who are not speaking on the panel are experts in this area as well. So we want to really leverage that. This is a stage for dialogue. So the discussion at the end of each panel, we're really trying to use it less of a Q&A and more as a dialogue among everybody. So we want to involve everybody. And this is a purpose of an event like this, is really to learn from each other. So I really want to have you guys keep that in mind. So feel free to raise your hand, to tell us what you think, ask us questions. We want those tough questions because I know you guys are thinking about them right now. And lunch will be around noon for about an hour. And then we'll end the event around 4:50 with some closing remarks. And then we'll also have the side easels there for some parking lot issues. And we also have, where's Walter? Okay, Walter's sitting right here with the fancy camera. So we are going to be videotaping the panel presentations. Just to be clear, we're going to be videotaping the presentations and not the dialogue. So feel free to speak up during dialogue. We're not going to record you and flash you and put you on YouTube and get you on there. So you guys are safe here. Remember, this is a safe space for us. And then one final logistical, there's wireless in this venue. It's called City Hall Guest, and the password is Foster City, all lowercase. Okay. Sorry, I should have flipped this one. Okay, here we go. Now, oh yes. Before we get to that slide, so before we jump right into the meat of the workshop, let's do some quick introductions. So when we saw the RSVP list, we got almost 9 representation from almost all 9 counties in the Bay Area. We have 8, except Solano County. So by raise of hands, can people from San Francisco raise your hands? Ooh, okay. So we do have some, so I think that they will be a little late. What about Marin County? Great. Just in time. Welcome. Napa County? Okay. Sonoma County?
Well, it's the traffic's
Yeah,
murderous.
so we do have a few people who are going to be a little late. Contra Costa County. Okay. Alameda County. Oh wow, okay. San Mateo County. Okay. Santa Clara County. Okay. And Santa Cruz County. There you go, Leslie, hello. Perfect, so we try to invite and extend this invitation to as many jurisdictions throughout the Bay Area as possible. So as you can see, a lot of different jurisdictions from different counties, many perspectives. So we highly encourage you all to join us today in a dialogue that we're going to be taking upon. And so with that, and one more thing, by professional background, stormwater folks, raise your hands. Great. Solid waste folks. Great. Health folks. All right. Sustainability in general. Okay. Do you have any other sectors that I missed?
Food service?
Food service. Okay.
Why would we want that?
He's just one of our presenters, that's all. Thanks, Richard, for coming and being immersed in a sea of local government staff. So let's see. So thank you all for coming again. So I would love to hear you participate in the dialogue that we will have today. Hopefully it will be fruitful. And so turning to the next item in the agenda. Setting the stage, a framework for reusing single-use foodware. So local government perspective. So this is an important question. So why is this issue important for local governments? Well, the fact that the RSVP for the workshop filled up within 2 weeks and we had to extend the cap from 70 to 85, I think that's a good indication that this is really important for you guys. Okay, so as you can see, the movement to address single-use disposable food serviceware is growing. You guys know why it's important, and it's becoming a high priority item for many of us. And many of the jurisdictions that have previously adopted polystyrene and other food serviceware related ordinances in the past, we are seeing a trend of the staff going back, amending their ordinance to include additional provisions that address single-use disposable food serviceware. And some of the examples is banning or limiting the use of plastic straws or other single-use disposable food serviceware, banning foodware that has fluorinated chemicals, only allowing a certain type of food serviceware to be allowed for use. So a lot of different options out there. And some of the example cities that have adopted similar ordinances like this include Alameda, San Francisco, Oakland, Pacifica, San Anselmo. We have Davis in the south. We have Carmel, Santa Cruz, County of Santa Cruz, San Luis Obispo. Way down south, we have Manhattan Beach and Malibu. So it's obvious, there's definitely movement. And we also have cities of Berkeley, Palo Alto, and I just learned Emeryville, as well as County of San Mateo. We're currently in the process of exploring and developing similar ordinances as we speak. So it's really exciting stuff. And even the state is getting on board. Everybody knows in September, Governor Brown signed into law AB 1884, plastic straws upon request, which only allows full service dining, which mandates full service dining restaurants to distribute plastic straws only upon request. So it's really out there. We're really seeing momentum. And so the important piece for us local governments is to really explore the available options that are out there, especially some of the low-hanging fruits, and bring it back to our community and see what we can do. Okay, so with that, I will hand this off to Miriam.